In.
What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It is time to not as late as night. It's time to lean in, bitch. We're here for the Real Housewives of Potomac, part 3 of the reunion. And this will serve as the last and final review for season 7. Everybody's here. Everybody is here. So it's not just ladies' night, it's ladies and gents' night.
So if me and Antonio wasn't here, it was ladies' night.
Yeah.
Well, I identify as both. So
okay.
ain't nobody gonna take that away from me. So whatever.
It's your world, baby.
Thank you. But what's going on, Jazz, Antonio, and Antonio, Asia, Danny? It's gonna be a good night. It's the last one. I'm kind of sad, but I'm kind of relieved just because it's been a good season, but it's been pretty long. 20 episodes is quite a bit. But we're at the end. So with that being said, if you're watching right now, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, for those that are watching, you guys are watching our other shows. Miami is at the end of it, but we start the reunion this week. The SWV and Escape show will begin tomorrow. It'll be a pre-recorded show hosted by Chase, so check that out. And then we're doing Jersey on Wednesdays as well. So check out those shows. Then shout out to William, who says, watching the lean while I get lean. What is get lean?
Drinking lean.
You about to, you know what? Just text me with what you're saying, because I don't know if I can say it online. I don't want to.
We're over there multitasking.
Right. I don't know what kind of, because only lean I know is that scissor, but that was from Memphis, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, scissor. I remember it. Sorry.
He's on the elliptical. Okay, so he getting lean. You know what?
We all got it wrong.
My head went always to the other side.
We are trash.
Y'all sure are.
I know that's right. That's the type of lean I need to be too. And what's going on to everybody that's in the chat? I see Derek's in the chat. Veronica, Chase is here. Dr. C, who we're gonna be live in Miami. So make sure you there. If I don't see you there, and you need to call in. Okay. Robo's Adventures, Sasuke. Hey, Sasuke. Sasuke obviously got it right. She knew that he was talking about working out. Shame on us. Sammy is here. And so this is the last recap and review for season 7. So I will allow people to call in throughout the show. I know we full on the screen, but it's the last one. Might as well go out with a bang, right? And we don't care. Anybody object on the screen? Anybody object? Anybody in this square object? No. Okay, cool. So I'll put the link in here, and then as we go through the show, if you're in the queue, I'll just add you in for a few moments. But keep in mind, a few moments, we still got to continue the show. Not Sammy. Don't be rude to Sammy, Derek. Stop being rude to Sammy. Not Sammy.
I love Sammy.
I know. Sammy. Well, let's get into it. Picking up with part 3 of this reunion was with Jacqueline and Mia. And I'm just going to say this. Andy kind of hurried up and pushed her ass off the stage. But I will say, based on what I saw on the screen, you guys can tell me how y'all feel. Jacqueline kind of made Mia look, even more dumb than she looks, because some of these receipts she had, they weren't like any big receipts, but she basically kind of came at all the claims that Mia had made. And these are things such as her sleeping with Gordon and her spending time with her mom on Mother's Day, and her not buying her own car and her having her own home. Jacqueline came forward with everything that in saying that she had her own shit. And I wish she would have came and showed that she had deodorant in Miami, because that was also a claim. But then again, I guess we'll never know. But yeah, so they put out the receipts. She shows all these things, and it is revealed that Mia was not with her mom on Mother's Day. She was on FaceTime, but she definitely said she was with her. But we know Mia be lying, so that's that on that. Jacqueline says she's never had sex with Gordon, and Gordon later reveals the same. So I guess that never happened. But I did agree with Gizelle asking her, so you grown, why not just say no? Because you kind of alluded to everything that. But what is revealed is that apparently Jacqueline went along with these storylines for Mia. That's what I got from it. I think we talked about this.
We all said it.
It seemed like they had a storyline and it didn't work out. But I do think that fight that happened in Mexico was real. I think that was like whatever. And I think Jacqueline was really saving face by not exposing the storyline or whatever they had planned, you know what I'm saying, before that. And so, I mean, y'all can give me y'all thoughts on this scene. I didn't really have much.
Jacqueline looked dusty.
Okay.
I will say, I agree with Asia. I will say that I do think that, I don't know, I do think Mia might kind of spared her. Mia says she had them text messages where she talked about married men. Jacqueline didn't say a peep. She shut up and let Andy keep on talking instead of denying it. I feel like Mia spared her. Jacqueline receipts were worse than the Scala's text message that she brought and all that. It was ooh.
You didn't like her receipts?
Just a waste.
What was the receipt? What did she receipt on?
It didn't show nothing.
She showed that she was not with her mom on Mother's Day,
and she showed that.
But we know Mia is a liar, so her exposing Mia as a liar is like not a shock.
Yeah, and
they both look like losers.
They both look dumb because of that car shit.
Yeah, she also showed that she bought her own car.
So then it makes her look even more like a dumb follower, because why would you go on and say, "Oh, he helped me pay the down payment"?
Yes.
Like that wasn't even relevant to even almost decent story. Like y'all could have just kept that in y'all pocket. Like we didn't even need to.
And Mia is so uninteresting. She's so uninteresting in real life. She's just a fucking liar. Yep. And at the end of the day, that does make for a good housewife, but not when you have 3 other pieces of light trash sitting on the side.
That lie just as much.
Well, you know what really irritated me is when she basically agreed to go on with the lies. Right. And I'm just like, you know what? Now I'm so uninterested. And I mean, it wasn't that interesting to begin with, but it's just like,
yeah, because they
both
look basic.
They just both look stupid. Like,
and that fight was real.
They really cancel each other out by lying, because it's like, okay, so if you lying, if you saying that you agreed to lie for her for this, and now just because y'all split up, now you want to tell on each other, it cancels out to me. So
Jacqueline came to defend Mia and to attack Candace, and neither worked out.
Neither, and that fight happened between them because one of them went off script that they planned, and it just went left.
Right. Because when she said something about that married man again, you seen she closed that toothless mouth up. So, you know what I'm saying?
She had her little moments though, but
Jasmine the dentist, baby.
I mean everybody got a missing side tooth, I guess. I mean, that's got money to replenish it. I don't understand.
Jacqueline don't got no money. Like, let's be clear. Whatever that
no, Jacqueline said, "I got my own house, which you don't," and I was like,
and she don't. And Jacqueline said she's still the CEO of her company. Mia was never.
I was like, okay, she reading, girl. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
And that card in Jacqueline name. That card in Jacqueline name. She put that card in her EIN number.
I'm weak. Not happy dentist day.
I was just glad to see her long booty exit the stage. I was like,
yes,
you and your long booty, get the fuck out.
And then another one came on.
Hold on, wait a minute. So Andy did kind of push her off the fucking stage, because I mean they were talking about like not mending, and then Andy was like, "All right, let's move on, whatever." So then it's a surprise. Latrice Royale from season 4 was invited to the reunion, so she was in the back getting ready to come on stage, and she came on stage. Y'all may know her as Charisse. I say Latrice, okay, because that's what she looked like to me.
Latrice
especially at this
motherfucking Royale, yeah.
Latrice motherfucking Royale from season 4.
Charisse sweaty then too.
And so they welcome her to the stage, right? And now in the back, she's making these comments or whatever about excited to see everybody. Mm-hmm. And when she got on the stage, she was like, "Oh my God, Andy, it's been so long. Can I hug you?" And it's almost like he wanted to say, "Okay," but he ended up hugging her, right?
He didn't want no sweat on him.
I don't know what he wanted on her, but he whatever. He hugged her. She was happy because she is an OG of the cast. We do know that. Everybody who knows Potomac, if you don't know, she was from season 1, so I guess that's what it came from.
She was from light skin.
But the first thing they asked when in her segment is they turned to Robin to ask Robin about her relationship with Charisse, and she just like, it's not about how long they've been friends or just basically she feels like not Latrice. Oh shit!
Stop playing.
That was actually unintentional. She feels like Charisse was a really good friend or whatever. And so basically they get into the segment about what's her name, Karen and Charisse. And Andy turns to Karen, and he's basically like, well, Karen, honestly, if someone wasn't a friend of mine and they came to my mom's funeral, I would look at it as a nice gesture. Karen says, Andy, I don't want to relive it. I'm not talking about my mother. I'm not answering any questions. And I'm just like, honestly, I love Karen, but why is she sitting right here? Why is she sitting right here? Because realistically, Karen she's not really giving much this entire reunion at all. Like most times, people on the front say they give a little something. She really ain't did nothing but yawn and do her nails and just kind of like, that's it. And
you could have left when Jacqueline left.
I'm just like, they could have really honestly kept this.
She could have came out when Charisse came out.
Robin could have even been right there. I mean, I'm just saying she had
a
whole lot more.
Pump your brakes, Cortez.
I feel like her being right there just put a lot of attention on Karen that I just really didn't feel like I wanted to see. You know, like
about that
you know how somebody, an older lady, has dentures in their mouth and they constantly like doing like
Like they
always did that.
That's what she kept doing, and it was just
she always be moving her dentures around.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, them not season one. Them not the season one.
No, they not. They
No.
not.
She upgraded.
Yeah.
Those teeth are newer.
That was Karen's best part, the whole reunion, and yawning when Robin was talking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. So, like, yes, I mean, I don't think everybody here stands Karen like that.
I do.
But, I mean,
I don't.
I know Asia doesn't, but I like Karen. But realistically, she wasn't giving much this reunion, and I expected a little more. I did.
Well, I'm guessing because maybe she was into her with Robin. Her and Mia kind of had a little back and forth, so maybe that's why she was placed.
But they think about it. They never even touched on her and Mia's little fallouts. They never really touched on any of those moments. Other than
at the end, they did.
I mean, that little rumor, but that's it. Like, I just, I don't know. I don't understand the seating chart. They could have had me up there on the seat chart.
Well, I could have been here too.
Shit.
We all could have been.
We all could have been up there.
We would have been more entertaining.
This could have happened on Watch What Happens Live and be
correct. And so they talk about that. So basically, Charisse says, well, you know, she's saying she wasn't friends with me. She invited me to the LaDame event. She invited me to her birthday party. So if you're not friends with me, why was I invited to this? So they show all these receipts. Robin gets involved and says she agrees. Like, she's like, why do you invite somebody you're not friends, you don't like, to these events? You know, Karen gives her reasoning and things like that. I don't really understand the reasoning, honestly. The timelines is off. She said 18. She said 2019. At this point, I think it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because I'm like, what the hell going on?
I don't know. It was crazy to me to see Robin be like, basically, everybody that's saying this is telling a lie on you. Like, that's basically, you know, what she was saying that. And I don't know, I just felt crazy because, bitch, at the end of the day, we're about one. And I just feel like her energy was just directed in somewhere else. But I just felt like, you know, I don't know. I just felt like Karen looked old to me. And I felt like, quit playing with this
old lady.
I just felt like, stop playing with elders. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I just felt cringy.
Well, I'm going to say what else was more cringy, too, in this scene was, you know, so they talk about Charisse's accusations. Charisse did say that the lady was sleeping with somebody, having sex in the bathroom stall and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And she kind of alludes to there being more, but I mean, they never really talk about the in depth. I don't know if they was scared to get a lawsuit or something like that. I'm not really sure, but they do bring up what Mia talked about in the finale. And this was her messing with the restaurant owner, which they keep bleeping the person's name out. I want to know what it's about, but Mia speaks on it, and she tells Karen that if she says it's not true, it's not true. And Karen was like, you know what, just tell Andy so I can go ahead and sue. And I'm like, ooh, what the hell? What's going on? She finna sue? Because at this rate, we know Mia be lying, and they go into this whole moment of like the women be lying and stuff like that. And Robin makes a comment, which is, I feel like she just said the opposite last week. She says that the rumors that they get are from people, not from the blogs. And she just said in part 2, that's something she heard from a blog. I think it was the
Candace interview.
The Candace interview and stuff. I don't really understand that. But I do like when Karen says that nobody calls you Robin, but okay. I didn't live for that. So, do y'all have any thoughts on this, Charisse and Karen? It was so uninteresting. I mean, the storyline itself was not really given because clearly we know that Karen was not entertaining Charisse throughout the season. But it was like we didn't have to have Charisse or Jacqueline on the screen because it didn't give much for the reunion. But y'all tell me what y'all think.
You said it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I also think Charisse was lying. My thing is this: if you saying you was out there, lady, and she was effing somebody in the bathroom stall while y'all was out together, then Charisse was supposed to not pull receipts, but she was supposed to double down on that, in my opinion. But she was like, "Oh, well, I only said that because you said stuff about me." So to me, that gives like, "Oh, well, you was lying. Like you weren't with her. That didn't happen, or somebody told you that it happened." And also in reference to Robin, talking about we get our stuff from people. The picture that Robin showed, that's allegedly Karen and the guy in the bar. Robin said somebody DM'd that picture to Gizelle like 6 months prior, or something like that. In Gizelle, so they all do that blog shit. So stop it.
It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander. At the end of the day, they always want to pick and choose outrage and disdain for some shit until it's on them. So I mean, like you said, the last episode, Robin's like, "Oh, you know, I got this from a blog," and then we hear stuff from people like everybody's lying. And I do feel like Karen did say in the middle of that exchange with Mia that you just cannot just be saying stuff about people and making it up. Like you just can't keep doing that. But if everybody's doing it, where does it end?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's what Wendy kind of said, I believe, right? She was just like,
Wendy was right.
Like they just keep, you know. I mean, it's like it never ends.
Everybody want to like say don't bring up rumors, and then they bring up rumors, and then they get mad when it's about them, but they don't mind bringing it up about other people.
That's
true. The only thing I agree with Wendy on tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'll pause for a second too. Obviously, we didn't talk about this, and we were thinking about doing a lunch link. We didn't do it, but the whole, over the last week, a lot has happened. Y'all seen the stuff with Mia and G and Peter, and then even the stuff with Candace and Michael Darby suing in the allegation. From her saying about him sleeping or giving head or whatever. What y'all think about that situation? Both of those actually, because at this rate, G is telling Peter to pull up. We didn't see Peter fight before. And he kind of got beat up.
That was a very young man that he was fighting.
Young man he was fighting at that.
So Peter was actually holding his little.
He was holding his own.
Regardless of who Peter fought,
you can hold your own, but you can still get your ass beat.
I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That man was out of breath. I mean, he's much older, but yeah.
But regardless, he apologized to G though.
Yeah, he did. He did apologize to G. I mean, Mia came forth and sent an apology to Jacqueline. It's been a lot going on in the Potomac.
She sent apologies to Jacqueline and kinda to Wendy, but they all lie. But Mia, to me, she takes the line to a whole different level. Like you really just gonna come on here and just make up in your mind that Wendy had sex with that man in that restaurant. But what's odd even with that is that Peter was still being messy, and I guess maybe trying to help Mia with the storyline, or because he's the one that was taking the video. How did Mia end up with the damn video?
Oh, it was, but it's on Instagram. It was on his Instagram.
Oh, it was on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was on his Insta. It's not even it wasn't even.
Okay, so it wasn't. Okay, I didn't know it was on his Instagram. I thought, okay, got it.
And Mia's line was cute at first when it was she lying about herself. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But then she expanded and started lying on everybody. That's when it became a bit too much.
I keep on trying to tell y'all.
She tells something that is true and then lies all around it. And so it's like, okay, well,
I might believe it because
it's like, well, I went to the doctor, but then I had cancer, and then I didn't.
But now I got eczema.
Oh.
I keep on trying to tell y'all that she has a stripper mentality. She always thinks somebody's coming for her, so she always got something just to quick to go back on you with. And like she just is out constantly, like even with the Jacqueline thing, she's like, you said that because you knew that my man can't get his finger like up. Like, bitch, wait.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that too. She did, yeah. I mean, but you know what? I kind of felt like when Jacqueline said that was kind of what she was alluding to anyway. I mean, without knowing, not that he maybe had prostate cancer, but maybe that he had issues getting it up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's not a surprise. So I mean, and she shouldn't think it's a damn surprise. He ain't 20 or even 40.
Or 50. Hell, he closer to 70 than he is to 60.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, girl, gone.
I bet that all he do is use the tongue. So
why am I just stop and look at you like that?
The Michael Darby and Candace thing.
Yeah,
I just feel like anything to keep Ashley on the show. Anything to keep Ashley on the show. Because she has nothing. She just don't sit there.
He's slated with Candace because you know he was. No, that.
Or did he just not walk up on her, or thought he was walking up on her this summer? Then how the hell do you got the balls?
They were when she was in the Bahamas, like that. Yeah, so
he grabbed somebody from who worked at NBC.
It was a producer. He thought it was Candace. Yeah,
yeah, it was a producer.
And like touched her or grabbed her or something.
Yeah.
But his character he ran his character down on that show, grabbing people ass and doing all kinds of stuff like that. Like he's done that. So I hope
he's an ass-grab adulterer, and this is what the famous character bitch.
Exactly.
And then what Candace said, unless there's other things that they didn't show her say, she said your husband, didn't say his name, that was in the winery. And then in the confessional, all she said was bleep name, said that he is a client. Those are the two things. So you can't sue her. You got to sue the person.
Brooke, tell us, Brooke is a friend of mine who's in the chat. She is a lawyer. Do you think this case is going to go anywhere? Let us know in the chat. We're going to move.
I did see something on Twitter that was very interesting. Mm-hmm. Somebody like Michael would sue knowing that they don't have a case, but just to try to drain finances from another person.
Yeah.
And hurt them that way. To have to defend the legal fee. Candace now got to hire a lawyer, all that stuff. So
right. I just don't get the entitlement. I mean, of course I get the entitlement. I get the entitlement, but I just don't get it. Like at the end of the day, like your wife in this whole season has been a whole storyline about saying that her husband was inappropriate multiple times with multiple different women, and all of it has been proven to be, semantics, hearsay, or not true, flat out. Even Mia saying that he's staring at her was just tiptoeing around the shit. So I just do not understand even just what Ashley is just couldn't even just tell your husband, your ex-husband, whatever, your pimp, your sugar daddy, whatever he is to Ashley. I wish that she would have some backbone and tell his ass to sit his spanking ass down somewhere. Because if you feel like you that bold to walk up on me in another country and grab somebody that you think is me, then you don't have no right to be suing nobody but the motherfucker that. Let me stop.
And never have it on the
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. Do y'all want to take a call or y'all want to move to the next topic? What y'all want to do? Take call? Mm-hmm. Topic, call. Okay, what's the call? We will take Lord, and it's in and out, baby. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Don, how y'all doing tonight?
What you got for us?
Good, let me tell y'all something about this reunion. Let's just get started. Now, I'm tired of Mia, okay? And I believe everything Jackie is saying. I believe everything Jackie is saying, okay? Now, when you let everybody know your husband was intimate, girl, what the hell is your problem here? All you had to say that your husband had prostate cancer, okay? And that's it. But you went further than that, okay? Then you talking about Kevin effing somebody in the bathroom. I'm telling you, this is my opinion. Did y'all see her F the man in the bathroom? That means if you seen her, that means you was in there doing your business too then. So if you see her in the bathroom, don't be going by no rumors. And I don't blame Kevin. That's it. Bring me the lawyers. Bring me the lawyer because I'm finna sue all of y'all. And y'all know, baby, I'm tell y'all something. How y'all ever seen that poster when Kevin, that poster outside that building when Kevin had her little party? She had the little black outfit on, baby. And that outfit she had on last night, Sunday night with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin looked like a 59 years old woman. Okay, and she looked damn good. That's why them bitches mad. Okay, the woman 59 years old is still wearing high heels and still looking good. Okay, that's one. But I got the little for that little Muppet somebody had put on. I believe it was Corey. The little Muppet, the little lady. That's what she looked like. The little Muppet. She did look like that. But other than that, I was so glad to see Candace get at Gizelle. Okay,
We ain't got that yet. We ain't got that yet.
Oh, okay, my fault.
So call back in to talk about that because we're gonna move with the rest of the recap. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Lisa.
Just come back.
Okay.
In.
I've been. Just put me down. Okay.
All right. So we will move on with the next topic, which was Robin and Juan situation. They talk about the wedding and their journey and everything that happened. Gizelle still, I guess she had a little hope to think that she was going to be asked to be invited to the wedding that happened in Maryland. She wasn't. The prenup is 50-50. She feels like they both, have contributed to each other's lives. So I guess they should split whatever comes from the hats. So they can split that. And then they ask Karen about, her being obsessed with the wedding. She just says that she feels like if you're going to keep talking about something, where is it? Where is your scooter? Where is your wedding? Then they talk about the blonde the Georgetown blonde that looks like Karen. And Karen was like, it did not look like this lady. That is not what it was. But Candace thought it was funny. But Robin calls Karen a hypocrite for basically not having names and not having photos. I was like, that's true. She did say that. But I mean, she said she got it from the blog or whatever. And so they asked Robin, like, why was Juan mad? And before she could even say anything, even Andy's like, he don't like the show. And she basically says he don't like the show, which we already knew. And that's why obviously he's not there. I'm surprised that he has allowed her to even be on the show. I mean, he can't control her, but you would think that, I don't know. I feel like type of man Juan is, I feel like he would give her an ultimatum.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised he hasn't.
Where's the money gonna come?
Huh?
He was tired of living in that townhouse in Baltimore.
That's true.
Where are they gonna get the money?
That's true. So basically Juan doesn't like the drama. He don't really like the show. They get onto Robin about the family fun day event. It was a question about it costing more than $15. I hollered because she didn't really have no answer. She said that it was very last minute, basically saying it was definitely cheap. And then they get onto her about not inviting Wendy, specifically not inviting her children. Well, not inviting Wendy, but asking her to send her kids with Candace. And Wendy hasn't thought about that. Wendy was like, first of all, like, these are younger kids. Like, Candace has never hung out with my kids, never been around my kids. So why would you think that? Basically saying, Robin, stop the bullshit. It was an attack. Well, Robin said it wasn't an attack on the kids. I don't think it was an attack on the kids. I didn't think it was petty because I don't think Robin has any, even I don't care for Robin. I don't think she has any ill intent for Wendy's kids, but it was messed up, but it was also a great housewife moment, in my opinion. But not for the kids.
She invited Eddie and the kids before she wanted Wendy. She just didn't want Wendy there.
Right. What Wendy said was correct. You knew that I wasn't going to let her go with Candace. So
correct.
It was bullshit.
But she didn't.
Correct.
I don't think when Wendy said you have something against my children, or I don't know if you have something like Wendy. We know she don't got nothing against your kids. Stop.
Yeah, she don't.
Like, I don't like people putting like that out there. So stop playing.
But if you don't have nothing to do with the kids, then you shouldn't do shit like that. Because I feel like she was.
But she's petty. She's petty. She don't have something against her kids. She probably don't give a fuck about her kids, but she doesn't have anything against them.
Well, they've never had like kid play day. I guess the context of it all is that it was a family play day. You know what I'm saying? If it had to be any other event, but it was a family play day. So I get it. I just, if it'd be one thing if the kids knew Robin and had some kind of relationship with them, but since they don't, them kids weren't missing nothing. They really weren't missing anything. Let's be clear.
Everybody save your gas.
Right. It is okay. If you want to go to the park,
$5 a gallon.
Baby, I can take you to the park, okay? Because
Mia said that she's kind of basic. Now that was one of the few things I agree with Mia on.
That was funny.
That shit was funny.
Well, at least you know what? At least Mia has been consistent on what she thinks is basic and stuff like that. I wish she would say that she herself is basic, but she'll probably never say that. So to close this scene out with Robin and Juan, they asked Robin about the sexual assault case where he was supposed to have known information about this catfishing situation at what school is that?
Coppin.
What was it?
Coppin State.
Yeah, that school. And she really can't speak on it, but she does say that everything that was alleged against Juan was indeed not true. And that's all she could say. Did I have any thoughts on any of this? Because it wasn't really interesting to me, but I mean, I guess it was to showcase Robin and her relationship, but especially knowing what we know now, it made it even less interesting, in my opinion. Yeah. But any thoughts on this?
He still works there, so he might.
Yeah.
He probably followed their protocol, but that's why he still has a job. Because I asked somebody, I was like, if you didn't follow protocol, wouldn't you be fired like pretty much immediately? And they said, yeah. So he probably did everything correctly, but naming him in the lawsuit is nice and messy. He had like I'm not trying to side with Robin. I ain't TKC or whatever, but I think he had a point there.
Yeah, she made sense with what she said in that couple of minutes. So yeah.
Everybody on the panel wants to be very clear that we just they just saying in that moment. Everything, every other moment, no.
I wish she just probably would have just said, I really can't talk about it, because I feel like Andy's question was valid and saying, are you dismissing what the child?
Yes, I did like that question, but I guess because the thing with housewives, it's no different than the Jen Shah and Heather and them. It's no different than them asking what's her name, Erica, about the victims. Now, if that had been Erica, she would have not gave an answer like that. But it sounds like she was saying, listen, it's a lawsuit. And I think Robin actually answered it correctly. In my opinion, she probably handled it the best than any other woman that has been under fire over some damn legal shit. But
I was impressed with what she said, actually, because it's I like we say this all the time. Beverly Hills, everywhere else, they should have said, "I can't talk on it for legal."
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like what she said. I like how she handled it. Yeah, because other women would have not.
Yeah,
done it that way.
I thought she was gonna get there, my man. But
yeah,
that would be stupid.
Okay, so let's get into the husband thing, because the husband thing was kind of long. The husbands come out minus one. He does ask her, where's Juan? She said he's at work. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure he could have probably taken off, but maybe he got no PTO. I don't know. So they kind of highlight Wendy and Eddie on their marriage. They say they're very solid. They talk about G. Well, G talks about Mia's health scare, and he says that it was very scary, and that more scary because it was difficult not knowing what they had. There were a lot of questions, a lot of tests, but no answers. And so he his eyes get red and he sheds tears a little bit. And Jasmine obviously laughed at G crying. And Mia's like, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby.
You saw he forgot the script. He tried to memorize with Mia. As long as he memorized up to a certain point and then forgot. Damn, I know I was.
Oh, okay. It looked like everybody in the chat also feel like Gordon was.
No, I want to say this. That shit was cringe as fuck. I said, are you crying for real? I couldn't even believe it. And then he was just like, stuttering like Angel was saying. I was just like, get it out, spit it out, land the plane.
Because he don't want to lie.
Very much.
Oh, no. So you saying everybody in Mia's camp is on the script except for her?
Yeah.
She the one that needs to
Hernandez, it's her show.
She writing the script.
It was just only reason it was cringe is because like not that a man was crying. It's just like get it out. Like, you know, like it's just like the camera panned to him and it was like these little watery eyes. They were red. It just wasn't the moment. I don't know. And I get it. I get what he was trying to portray, but it wasn't. I didn't feel it.
If she was going to the doctor 4 times a week, you mean to tell me the only time they captured her going was when they told her she had a little rash? They ain't captured none of those 3-4 times a week for what, 4 months? They ain't captured none of those times. Just the time when she was supposed to get the rash. That is crazy.
David said G had to be acting. It was definitely a scene of TV.
No, I'm crying more right now, laughing than G was crying on that stage. Like I am literally crying right now more than he was crying.
I watched it the second because I felt it the first time. Oh, that's sad. And then I watched it the second time. I said, "This motherfucker."
I had that reaction the first time.
I know she ain't crying, child.
Melanie said a lot of emotions for a rash.
A lot of doctor's visits for a rash.
Right, but you know what I think happened though, because in that
That's
moment,
real.
when they was there, he was like, you know, I mean, when she said like, you know, I was feeling like, when you get a call that you're gonna die, he was like, oh man, that's what you took from me. And I feel like that after that, she was like, you're gonna have to tighten your shit the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to cry now, nigga. Like I feel like she basically, you know, told him about himself after that little moment.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
I will say this. When he said this was the hardest thing, and I'm like, well, what about the prostate cancer that your wife said that you had? I mean, you would think that may have been kind of hard, but then again,
right on the nose.
Those damn what's her name? Mia. What's her last name?
Thorn.
Those damn Thorn wild bears, whatever her name is, child. I don't know what the.
I just know them tears. Somebody who got athlete's foot on their shoulder. That's just. I'm sick of her. Sick of Mia. And
right,
he walked in with his eyes red.
He does say that he never had sex with Jacqueline. He never had penetration with any of with Mia's friends. And I'm like, well, clearly you have an issue down there. So obviously you just doing other stuff, right? So yeah, he at this point he ain't penetrate nobody. That's what it sounds like. So we get to Chris, and Chris comes out. Chris is already on fire. He is upset, child, because he can't. I think he probably was waiting on this moment more than the women were. You know what I'm saying, to address Gizelle. And so he speaks, and basically Gizelle tries to talk. He tells her, let me finish. I let you had 10 months to speak. Let me get it out. And so he wants to know, what did he do to her? Because she said he did something. Those were her words. And she says that he asked her to go to the room. And they show a clip from last year. They don't show like him saying that, but he does say, I'll talk to you about it later or whatever, right? And so she's trying to speak and whatever, and he's just like, spit it out. And she's like, listen, that's not cool. You're not gonna talk to me crazy, you're gonna be cussing at me or whatever. And Candace said, well, no, bitch, what's not cool is your gutter snipe ass lying on my family. And I'm just like, well, damn, okay.
That's my girl.
So Gizelle says that, he seemed drunk, and basically him being a little drunk, she felt uncomfortable and, whatever. She mentions Kyle. I don't know why she brings up Kyle, because we don't like Kyle, just because Kyle been styling her for 50 years and he ain't never got it right. Ever. So Kyle has no credibility, and if he can't style her, he sure can't tell the truth. I'm going to say that. He can't do it. And so she says that Kyle felt like Chris knew that he was gone, and he used the opportunity to be in the room with her alone, right? He says that basically up until this point, he never apologized because he didn't want to apologize because he didn't feel like he did anything wrong or whatever. And but he apologized, basically it's a feeling versus what he did. And he tries to get involved or whatever. And Chris says the door was open. she had a robe on. Gizelle says that's a lie. That's a lie. Like, this is not what happened. Chris, that's not what happened. I was fully dressed. And he says the door closed, the latch was still there. At this point, it was a little cringe, I'm not gonna lie, because I just didn't know what to believe at that point. I'm like, well, damn, is Chris telling all with the truth? I'm just saying it was a little weird to kind of see them go back and forth over this. But yeah, so they continue to talk about it. They bring up the DM, and Ashley gets involved and talks about the DM. You know, she does apologize for her comments. She says that basically she came forward with this story, obviously in front of the cameras, because Ashley brought it up. But Ashley brought up the DM stuff, and she felt like she should come forward and talk about it. But after she apologized for the sneaky link comment or whatever, and Candace gets involved, and she says, you know, you're a garbage individual. She says that you have no soul, and you are the reason why people don't come forward with sexual allegations. Because you sit there with your white privilege or white aligned ass. I don't know the exact words.
She said white looking.
White looking.
Mm-hmm. And basically saying that she can get away with things because she is a lighter woman. And so the internet is going crazy. I see a lot of mixed comments because some people are saying, that's the problem. And some people are saying, you know, like, no, she's right. So I'll stop right there because there was more that was said. I want to get y'all thoughts on the comment and how y'all feel. And do you understand what she was saying, or do you agree, disagree? Give me your thoughts. I'll start with Tony.
Yeah, absolutely understood what she was saying. It went back to the conversation that they had earlier. Whereas, you know, stating that there are people that can do things and get a pass because of what they look like. Could her wording have been different? Maybe. But am I upset about what she said? No. Because I felt like she was telling the truth.
Yes.
Exactly.
And we have to remember, Jamie said this in the chat today, it's a true point. On season 1, Gizelle did say that the Green Eyed Bandits can be white passing.
She did. She said, I can pass as white, but I don't. But I choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to be like jumping for joy about. I mean, we all knew, like, I feel like, you know, some things are just for the Black community. And I feel like we knew what she was talking about. I do think, like Wendy said, off the heels of the conversation, it does seem a little hypocritical, but I don't give a fuck. Candace said what needed to be said, and I do think that Gizelle knows exactly the privilege that she holds. I think her and Robin are both, you know, my favorite thing to say, because is swiftly obtuse. But that is exactly what they are, and it's just like you constantly tell somebody over and over again how you feel. They disregarded it throughout the whole seasons. They disregarded it after the conversation, during the conversation. So at this point, bitch, what will be able to grab your attention? Do I have to call you a dusty ass bitch? Do I have to call you a non-dressing ass, light skinned, not all white ass? Like, it's a lot of things that came from behind in that argument with in that comment from Candace. I do, you know, wish sometimes that, you know, that our tones, even as a dark-skinned woman, it doesn't matter what tone. I have a soft, like, I don't know if y'all can tell, but I do actually have a very soft voice. I promise I do. I really do have a soft voice. It doesn't matter if I say something. I promise I do. But it doesn't matter if I say something low or if I exert myself. It doesn't matter. But it just always seems like I have to tiptoe around people with how I say things because of the perception that holds with me, just my demeanor. And it just gets tiring to constantly have to just tiptoe and not be yourself when when it's clear that they don't have a problem being themselves and they don't get.
That's true.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the tone. The tone policing, and where I was really disappointed in Wendy is that she tried to tone police Candace too. This bitch threw a whole drink on you and got away with it, ho. And you help it? Like,
you know what? While I agree with you, Asia, while I was upset with Wendy for doing that, I'm kind of glad she did because it allowed Candace to go a little further. And I like that Candace stood on what she said. I appreciate that. And I like that it opened more discourse on that. What really pissed me off was Ashley saying, "Didn't we just talk about this? Why are we bringing up colorism again?
Didn't we solve cancer? I mean,
yeah, like
minutes ago."
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Why do they feel
pajamas
like
looking ass? Like, I'm so done with that bobblehead. How?
Who?
Bananas and pajamas. Ashley.
Oh my God.
Because, like, you know what it is. You sat there on season 1 and you called out Robin and Gizelle saying they had European features. And it's funny that they dye their hair blonde while you're natural. So she was speaking on texturism and all the isms. But now you didn't understand what the fuck Candace was saying till the end. You understood that you mixed and you grew up under a bridge. And while you because you know you got picked up by somebody, you don't have to live under the bridge no more. Like, you get that. You got saved, ho, and other women who live under bridges don't have that same opportunity.
Come on now.
And when did like Mia and Ashley and those people become the too far police? So that's too far. But accusing somebody of sexual misconduct or whatever the case, that's not too far. That's okay. But that what Candace said was too far.
Right. And then he keeps on interrupting her Candace when she's trying to talk and shit like that. It's like, shut the fuck up, Mia, because like everyone said, like you have to have some type of entitlement to get up in the middle of a restaurant and throw a drink on a black ass woman that you sit at the table with, and then try to knock her upside her shit with a purse. Like,
and break your own nails, you dumb bitch.
And break your nails.
And then after you break all that in a huff and a fight with your big foot ass, everybody's running to you to see if you okay and making sure you don't leave, but letting this woman go cry in a hotel room by herself, and they're constantly playing in our face saying, oh, this doesn't exist, because nobody gives a fuck about that. They just care about what Candace said to Giselle after we had the colorism conversation.
And she is white skinned. Like,
well, hold on, let me say this. We had on this cast, I have said for the last, we've been reviewing this since season 5, I believe. Since that even Ashley, we be saying Ashley's in blackface, okay? And we say that because no shade, that lady is a white lady. She herself, and she just said herself last week, she can we praised her for saying she herself can acknowledge that the lighter women have a privilege, right? So I don't understand why in this moment but you know what? Ashley thinks she is the colorism police. If you look at her social media, the way she tries to get ahead of it, like she really thinks that it's like, it's Candace saying colorism exists, and then Ashley's always gonna be like, no, it doesn't. Like that's, and I think that's gonna be another thing because she feels like she is the voice for the light people or whatever. Even Karen last week, I think Karen made the most sense when she gave her speech and during the conversation last week. And to say, to think that a 5-minute conversation about colorism kind of heals all and cancels everything, that's just very ignorant of them. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mia should just be quiet. I agree. Ashley should just hush. And I'm glad, like you said, Danny, I'm glad that Candace was able to kind of go more into it. She was able to kind of be like, listen, I understand my delivery and my tone may not have been correct, but what I'm saying is very true. And we have said it on this show. Like, we've been saying it all the time. Did y'all see the picture of all the light-skinned ladies together recently? That's the first time I've seen Mia with a castmate, like, outside of the show. That's the first. But so, next season is about to be even worse, child. They're about to have a whole with the child. I don't even know.
But it's also like something to notice that even though Candace with her Howard degree and her Howard masters is trying to sit there and articulate the beginning of that colorism conversation, and nobody got it until we started talking about house and flat and field niggas, right? Like, oh, we don't get it until we talk about the light skins in the house and the darks in the field, the darkies in the field. Like, why can't we? I just didn't get, like, if everybody on the show thinks they're so smart and everybody's so accomplished, why does it take something so remedial for you to get some shit like that when it's continuously
against Candace? It's because it came, every single thing Candace says is an issue. It's why'd you say that? Like, that is literally what it is. It's Candace. It's the tone policing, and there's nothing that we can do about it, because that's how people see her. That's how people see what dark-skinned people say. Because even when Wendy spoke, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but nobody gave a fuck about Wendy being like, I got you, girl, but you should have said it different. They didn't give a fuck about that or praise her. They didn't. Nobody fucks with Wendy. None of them, except for Candace. And Wendy, you sit here and are offended because Robin and Candace's relationship, we see why. You see why she doesn't call you loyal. I'm glad she did get to clear it up, like Danny said. However, Wendy, this is why, because you pander. You pander. You ain't no different than Monique.
And the crazy part about it is, you know, everybody on that stage, nobody was out. They were outraged by what Candace said, that comment, which like I said on Twitter, showed the bigger issue that still remains in that group. But nobody had an issue with Chris's husband, with her husband being falsely, you know, just to the mud. Nobody spoke about that.
Assault, yeah.
It's Mia trying to be intelligent for me. You cannot say
Wikipedia.
A black woman is. I'm like,
what does she mean Wikipedia?
She said call Wikipedia. Bitch, you the CEO of what? How we gonna call Wikipedia?
It was Mia for me. I'm like, Mia, girl, if you don't shut the hell up, girl.
She can't even spell Wikipedia or encyclopedia. She can't even spell Gordon for real. She can't spell.
That's why she's shorting it to G.
Read a book, Mia. That's what I would have said. Read a book.
I really want her and Ashley to go back to college together. I really do. Like, I want them to finish the degree.
I could do another season with this same cast.
No, I don't think we can.
I don't think so either.
And if they do, that's just like a death kiss, honestly.
Yeah,
they have
to be the final season.
Because everybody's done with it. I got one more thing to say about Chris. This Chris fault, because you sit up here thinking you can be friends with your wife's enemies. That's on you. And let me tell you something else. Chris better be lucky that his ass is white, because if he was black, them allegations would have went further.
Absolutely. If that was Eddie,
white man, he can, because he's a white man, he can sit up and accept that apology, because let's be honest, that shit really didn't hurt his business like that. He probably did have to answer to his family, but we don't really know what kind of money he's bringing in. Like, maybe he lost his job at the hotel over that, who knows? But maybe you was one making number 50,000 a year, maybe 100K.
And don't let that.
Wait a minute. But I also want to say that because Chris is white, is how he got to get at Gizelle like that. Now I feel like she deserved it, but let Eddie would have been the person of interest, and him getting on her ass like that. They would have been like, oh, like how they did with the whole Sonya husband thing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's very evident, and I just hate the fact that people are so wealthily obtuse.
I don't even hate that for them.
I do agree with what you said about the if he was black, it definitely would have went further.
If he was Eddie complexion, it would have been a wrap.
It would have been a mess. Yeah. It would have been a whole mess.
They would have arrested him on camera.
Damn.
Wait a minute.
The people are in uproar about it. I've seen people saying like, "Oh, she making that comment, but she about to have some biracial kids," and I'm like, "Okay, what they got to do today?"
I didn't understand that either. I've seen that.
I've seen a lot of comments there and a lot of ignorance. I'm just like, what does it got to do with anything? Like,
what's she gonna teach?
But you notice when she made that comment, the camera did pan to Chris. He was just standing there looking all white. I'm just like,
a white in headlights.
He was just standing there like this.
Chris on Twitter,
and I was just like, that doesn't mean anything, but hey, people go off in the comments. I guess, you know, if you whatever.
I see, and I agree with Mr. Kevin Reynolds. Now I see why Dorothy does not feel it for Chris. Kevin, I'm with you, because even when he was trying to correct her, Candace was making a point when she said, "No, Gizelle, you have not apologized." Yeah, he was like, "No, she's trying to." No, he wasn't.
I really wish that, like, so to close this part right here out, you know, he does accept her apology. Candace said no. You know, remember last season when, you know, she was at odds with Ashley and he kind of was like being nice with her. He needs to stop that bullshit. It's getting like I could see it slightly, but no, the way that these women are like literally coming at him. Ashley has came at him. Gizelle has, so it's like, why is he so forgiving? I don't understand, but he needs to
be the ops at the end of the day. white.
He ain't got to forgive. He can move on. He got the privilege too, really. If he wanted it.
Me too.
All right, so listen, it was one last segment, but it was kind of like minor. And we have a lot of people in the queue, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some of our callers on. I'm sure we have people waiting to talk about this topic. And I'll send the link. Actually, Sass, can you send the link again for anyone else that wants to join? Because this is the last show, so I want to try to make sure we get everybody in and out as well. So our first caller, before I let them on, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. And our first call is going to be Ashley, who has been waiting very patiently. How you doing? What you got for us today?
Well, I guess since we were already just talking about the colorism thing and Wendy, I mean, I didn't realize how much I would dislike Wendy with her comment, but going over basically with Candace's whole standpoint, I definitely agree that that is real and that is happening specifically on this show. You just would not be able to convince me that with them being, what is it, like 75% light-skinned women, like you're going to encounter that, especially with the way that they just treat the darker skinned women. I think the lack of accountability is just, but I'm not really clocking into Real Housewives of Potomac expecting them to like hold that like high ground, but at least just be real about the shit you do. But we really just can't expect that from them. But Wendy, she really surprised me. I do think she's pandering. Like, I think when she says certain stuff, she be thinking, how can I make them like me? And I don't fuck with that. It's like, you have Candace right here. Candace is literally putting, like, because you the only other person. You're the only other person that she will be referencing when she's talking about that colorism issue. So you, whether or not you agree 100% with what Candace saying, while we talking in front of everybody else,
that's true.
Like Asia said, the ops, while we with the ops, you're not about to sit and embarrass me and tell me not to say it. Wendy has like some type of complex. I don't know if she can't separate like campus life from real, like obviously real life. I'll say it, real life. I'm a college student. I get it. Like the complex of feeling like, oh, I'm important here is not. Once you leave, baby, we don't care about that degree as much as you do. But yeah, that was pretty much it with that. I think they all need to get it together. The person I like the most is Candace because she reads them down, and she's honest and she's letting them know where they're lacking.
Okay.
I like you, Ash.
How would you rate the season and how would you rate the reunion?
I think with the stuff they brought, like me not being biased, I would give this season a 7.5. I didn't like the Chris thing. I didn't like that, how they was coming for Chris. Chris, why are you apologizing? Why are you accepting these women apology? I don't know. But yeah, that's what kind of brought it down for me, is like the ass kissing. Every time somebody kissed ass, down a notch. That's how I felt, the reunion, the looks was good. I don't know what Robin had on. It's like a tube of toothpaste. It was just, I did not like that dress.
Yeah,
who looked good? I like
tube of toothpaste.
I like the situation. Andy gagged her with the what he called her. What he called her, Cookie Monster. I don't know what he called her, but I liked her outfit. But yeah, the show, it was nice.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ashley. And I don't know if you watch any of our other shows, but hopefully we see you calling on those. Are you watching the SWV and Escape show that came out yesterday? No.
I was fixing myself to do it, but I just didn't get around to it. But I do watch the other. I called in for, I'm trying to remember.
Was it Jersey? It was Jersey, right? Or was
yes.
It? Okay,
yes. I got on March, Joe.
Okay. So we're going to see you Wednesday then.
Yeah, y'all will see me.
And if you watch in Miami, we're gonna be live this Thursday as well. So
because that's what I be missing. I'm like, I missed that for Miami because I feel like they be getting into it there too.
Yes, good.
Miami is good. All right, thank you, Ashley. Okay.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. All right, our next caller is going to be Tawana. What's going on, Tawana? Happy finale show. How are you,
Tawana?
Yes, I'm so happy it's finally here. This was a long season. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm gonna make it quick. I want to say that I 100% agree with what Candace said. Candace was right. Gizelle is able to do the things she do and get away with it because she is fair skinned. And for example, like what happened with Keke Palmer and Trey Songz. Like nobody believed Keke Palmer when she spoke up about Trey Songz, but as soon as the light skinned girls and the white girls said something about it, everybody believed them, no questions. And that is the same privilege that Gizelle has. Everybody believes her when she says something, no question about it. And Gizelle, I just feel like I don't like how Gizelle constantly attacks people, but then the person that she attacked becomes the victim. She attacked Wendy's husband, and Wendy became the villain because of how she responded. She attacked Candace's husband, but Candace became the villain because of how she responded. Like, no, Gizelle has been a menace since season 1. She's been doing this for 7 seasons and has been getting away with it.
Yep, she has been doing it since the paper bag season. You are correct.
And another thing, I hope TKC don't cuss me out in the comments. But Robin,
Cuss his name back, Twan. If you sick, you gotta cuss his motherfucking ass.
Don't you be scared.
But Robin is, oh my God,
Oh, let's want to speak.
I'm sorry.
Robin is a hypocrite because she's telling Karen that Karen is not allowed to feel inappropriate about the way that Juan hugged her, but Gizelle can feel inappropriate about being in the room with Chris. Chris all the way on the other side of the room, but Gizelle can feel uncomfortable. But your husband actually physically touching me, I'm not allowed to feel uncomfortable. Like, I don't understand these women, and it's like I don't understand why the other girls protect Gizelle, because Gizelle has attacked everybody on the husband stage besides G, but I feel like his day is coming. She even attacked Juan, talking about he not on the mortgage in his house. She basically got on TV and told everybody that your husband is a broke man and he ain't on the mortgage in his house.
Got bad credit.
But you riding for her. It's just ridiculous. I'm just so over it. I'm not looking forward to season 3, the girls trip with Gizelle.
You're not looking. Oh, well, because she on. You're right. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, because she gonna go there and she gonna.
Well, they're gonna be into it some more. You know, I hear they really so you know this was obviously filmed right after all this stuff happened. You know, so I think it was more fresh. So I hear that Candace and Gizelle go at it even more on the thing. So I don't know.
Going into season 8, we gotta at least get rid of 2 of these people. And poor G, I think G really believed Mia lies, and Mia has him convinced on whatever she say is right. Because the way he was crying, I'm like, this poor man, she got him thinking her lies is true. Because he was like, we had a lot of questions but no answers because nothing was wrong with her. Of course, there's no answers.
She had eczema.
This person.
Okay. She needed some lotion and some what's it called? Nivea.
Mia probably told them doctors they couldn't talk in front of G, and that's why he never got an answer.
Yeah, but we at least gotta get rid of 2 of these girls. And that video of them dancing. Huh?
Who they got to get rid of? Give us.
Who would you want to see go? Pick 2.
I want to see Robin, and I want to see Mia gone.
Oh,
and I want to see.
Gonna jump you now. He definitely gonna get you. We got you.
I want to see Robin gone because even if she stay on the show, she's not going to show her real life. She's going to continue to lie, and I want to see Mia gone because all she does is lie. And I do want to see Robin gone because I want to see how Gizelle navigates the group without Robin. I want Candace to bring on a friend. And that's it.
Wendy really the one need a friend because don't nobody fuck with her.
Wendy, I be feeling so bad.
Wendy does need a friend for sure.
But... And another thing, one more thing. Why didn't Andy ask Eddie how he felt about when he saw that footage of the drink being thrown on his wife?
Oh,
Andy should have asked him that because I'm interested to see what Eddie would have thought about that because Eddie is a lawyer. So he probably would have been like, you know, they could have, because Wendy, in all honesty, could have sued her because she threw a drink on her that has alcohol in it in glass. Like, that's assault with a deadly weapon. And she assaulted her with the glass and the alcohol and her purse. Like, they, honest to God, could have sued her.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you to one of you. Have definitely called in. I feel like if not whenever you're here, you call in. We've enjoyed your input. So thank you for calling in and contributing to this season. And we will see future seasons and other shows you're going to be watching too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. And feel better, Tawana.
Feel better, darling.
Feel better,
TKC ass out if you need to.
All right, our next caller, I believe it's a new caller. So I'm gonna skip it through y'all because I love new callers. We're gonna get everybody in though, so just be patient. Next caller is going to be Jeremy Speaks. How you doing, Jeremy Speaks?
What's up? How y'all doing? This is my first time catching the show, whatever. This was entertaining. Like, it was giving what it needs. It was giving what it needs to be gave.
This your first time watching and calling, or the first time calling in?
This is my first time watching and calling in. Like, it really is.
So you gotta watch
them. You didn't miss the whole. I gotta go back on. Some days we was cutting up in here. Jasmine, when she don't eat,
I'ma definitely look it up. I'm known for cutting up, but
you gotta watch the stuff we do too. The other
I'm gonna make sure I do.
Subscribe so you get alerts.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I do that as well.
Get his number, Danny. Damn.
I did like the video, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
Okay, what you got for us? How you feel about the episode?
First of all, Chris needs to get a job, and Chris is a homeless pasty white man who is the ops. Candace needs to stop opening up her vagina lips to this man because at the end of the day, Dorothy was right about everything that she said about him. And where is his kids? Where is his children? And Gizelle accordion neck Brian, I don't know about, I don't necessarily understand how everybody continues to give. Like, I just want us to all be real and tell her she don't look like Vanessa Williams.
Oh.
I just really want us to all I'm so sick and tired of, Gizelle is just so beautiful. Gizelle is just so amazing. Gizelle is just so, awesome. First off, Gizelle's neck is hanging almost 2 feet off the ground. What are y'all talking about? We got the only thing that people like about this lady is that she got green eyes. And we really gotta break this pretty eye syndrome that we got in the Black community.
I feel like it's broken. I feel like, honestly,
I can't tell because the way that the way these big bulky transformer hoes lumped in together to try to stop Candace from reading Gizelle this last episode, it really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, they just clicked and linked up like a damn Decepticon. I didn't like that. And then I was not expecting, Wendy, under the sea, Osefo to hop in and try to correct Candace either. I was like, did they just say they don't give a hell about you being abused, ma'am? Like, you need to sit back. Mm-hmm. I was like, and honestly, I'm not like, Candace and Wendy both get on my nerves because they're both pick-me's. They both exhibit those qualities, and they both do it all throughout the season. Like, they're both scared to hold these women accountable. They're both scared to say what it needs to be said, and then they both bend their backwards, to try to beat in with the in crowd. And I've never been that type of dude before. I've always been, the lone wolf, and whatnot. But but
why you got this for lone wolf? No,
because that's the type of sound a lone wolf got. It's underneath the terrain and shit. But listen to what I'm saying.
Saw her under the sea, Osefo?
Yes, because she had that mermaid dress.
Oh, okay. I was like, I figured that's what it was, but I was like, wait, you know something we don't know? Is she under the sea?
And then we really need to talk about Robin. But let's get into that. Robin and these broad shoulders. I am so sick and tired of people trying to say that this lady don't deserve to be on the show no more. She don't need another chance. If 7 years pass, 8 years pass, and she's still not giving anything, she don't need any more chances. That's the whole reason that people feel that colorism exists, because we're continuously giving chance after chance to people who do not deserve it. She don't need another chance. Like her coming on next season to talk about a cheatation that happened that Juan is not going to be there to talk about does not matter to me. Juan is not going to be there. Juan is not going to be there. She don't need to come back. Let her go. We she's literally just holding up space. We don't need somebody to echo, Giselle's hot breath comments. At the end of the day, let's move on. And Ashley needs to go with her. Ashley is always trying to get her storyline off the back of Candace. Unfortunately, this season Candace did not give it to her. I'm so sick and tired of her Stewie Griffin antics. Like she is such a little demon. I can't stand her. And then Charisse got baby knees.
I'm about to go.
You got what?
Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy, we actually, I got some more callers, and I gotta let you go, okay? But baby knees is about to take me out. I hate to rush you off, but we got a long line outside the club.
In the comments.
So that's why.
That's all I got. But thank y'all so much.
No, thank you. And check out our other shows too. We do Miami, we're doing Jersey, and we're gonna do Atlanta. All the shows. So check out the shows too.
All right, y'all. See y'all soon.
Bye.
I saw in the comments that Jeremy also has a YouTube channel. So Jeremy, feel free to put your channel in the chat, and you guys can go follow him too. I don't know if Jeremy into it now, but I would definitely check him out because he seems to be very entertaining. That's from that little 3 minutes. So yeah. All right. So our next caller is going to be Brittany. What's going on, Brittany?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, Brittany.
Okay, so I'm gonna be quick since I know you guys have a line. It's the finale.
Yeah, you let that line alone.
Have been tricked, lied to, bamboozled. This season did not deserve that incredible red cast photo. This season was absolute trash. And what bothers me about them policing Candace's tone, I think you guys said it perfectly, but also I wish somebody would have said, that's exactly what Candace was doing all season. She was holding herself back. She was not reacting. She couldn't be any more respectful to even Ashley. Like she told her, don't walk up to my husband. What does Ashley do? Walk around her. She pulled Gizelle to the side at that winery to talk to her about how she felt. Gizelle leaves that conversation, goes back on the bus, and starts saying Chris is touching people. Like, I hate that they're telling her, well, it's your tone and the way that you say it, but when she's being respectful, they don't listen to her anyway. So what's the point? She might as well just let have and say whatever you want, because Gizelle gets to do whatever she wants. Like, there's no way, if Gizelle wasn't light-skinned, green-eyed, and palatable to the audience, that she would be able to get away with this stuff, because Phaedra was immediately fired when she lied. When Kenya withheld her storyline, she was fired for that one season, and then they brought her back. Like, there's no way. Even somebody like Nene, when has Nene ever been able to start a bunch of drama, sit at a reunion, and nobody gets to question what she does? Even when Nene refuses to respond, her entire cast gets on her for not responding. Like, the favoritism that Gizelle gets makes absolutely no sense to me. And I'm with you guys. If there isn't a major cast shakeup, I'm done with the show too, because these 4 OGs have had 7 seasons. They're not going to come onto the 8th season and suddenly change their minds. Like, who they are now is who they're going to be. Gizelle is not going to open up. Robin's going to continue to lie. And Jeremy had a great point. If Juan refuses to film, then what's the point of Robin even being here? Like, we've already seen with Ashley, and Ashley was supposed to have this incredible divorce storyline, but she couldn't because Michael refuses to be on the show. Like, it doesn't work if you're married and your husband doesn't want to be a part of it. It doesn't work. So Robin might as well go. Mia can go. She's, oh God, just a liar. Mia can go. Ashley can go too. It would be my dream for Gizelle to go, because Gizelle is the disease of this show. But it's obvious that they're not going to let her go. So fine. But Robin, Ashley, and Mia can all go. Like, at least 2 of them needs to go.
All 3.
Because I'm just over it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I agree.
Only reason Ashley should stay around is so Candace can read her ass to Phil.
I'm and
tired
her out. Ain't no
I agree.
We can stream it on Peacock though. Like we got enough material. We can just go back and watch her. Like we're done with Ashley. It's enough.
All 3 then. All 3 of
I'm
them.
tired of her having to get out of character with these hoes because at the end of the day, like I'm tired of that. Like you know these that they're doing wrong, and then she'll sit up there and like Brittany just said, she can hold that shit in for the whole thing duration of filming. As soon as she says something, it's big bad Candace. Like no, I agree with that.
Exactly.
All right, Brittany, you got anything else for Brittany?
I'm just done. I don't know what else to say.
You gotta watch next season because we're gonna be here. We don't want you to leave. So
we'll see. Or maybe I'll just watch your reviews and not the show. Maybe I should do that.
That's probably what's gonna happen with everybody.
Well, thank you, Brittany. You also called in a lot this season, so thank you for contributing.
I might just watch the review too.
Go.
I'm gonna watch the review.
Not you gonna come up in here and wing it.
All right, thank you, Brittany. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. All right, I'm gonna let the next person on because they said they in line and their knees buckling. They got their
shoes off.
They cheap wedges on. So I'm gonna let this person on, child. It's TKC, child. What's going on?
Hello. Ooh, that was so shady. Anyway, Jasmine, come on back. Come on back, Jasmine.
Go ahead. Come on. What you got for us?
I'm on my phone. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We hear you. Uh-oh.
Next.
Okay. Okay, keep it cute. Anyway, this episode was it was better than the last 2, I think. I'm kind of okay. First of all, let me address Miss Tawana because I was waiting so long, I forgot what I was gonna say. But
what do you want to talk about?
No, I was gonna say
2.5 minutes. We need to get your thoughts on the finale. We ain't got a time to address.
Trying to get if you just let me get there, I'll get there.
I'm trying.
Okay, so Robin, Robin has been one of the only ones who showed their personal lives on this show. So when y'all say y'all want Robin gone, I don't understand it because Robin has been one of the only ones who has been open about her personal lives. This season, not so much because of what happened. But let's think about it. The only people on the show who has not been open about their personal lives are Karen and Gizelle. So when y'all say y'all want somebody gone because they haven't been open about what's been going on in their life, Robin talked about her bankruptcy. Robin talked about her marriage to Juan and all that before. What has Karen been open about? What has Gizelle been open about? So when y'all talk about people who should go, it should really be those 2.
She talked about it because Ashley brought it out. I'm sorry.
And Karen talked about it because her stuff was in the Washington Post.
Okay, so it's a wash. They talked about it because they was forced. Everybody was forced.
Okay, but the past couple seasons, what has Karen talked about?
So I just don't.
I completely agree with Gizelle. I mean, Karen has, she's had her businesses. She talked about they talked about her stuff. They had
heard about them candles this year.
They showed up to her whole house as a piece of man. They've given Karen room to stay on the show.
And Karen's obviously giving Robin room to stay on the show because she's been on her cheap ass YouTube talking about she's gonna bring up. He's talking about Juan next season. So y'all want Robin gone so bad, and then y'all better talk about it to Karen because she's the one who's saying this is gonna be the storyline next season because Karen won't have no storyline next season. It's gonna be Robin again. Robin and Juan again.
I mean, we'll see next season.
Anyway, I wasn't here. I was going to ask a question. I wasn't here to vent about this because I'm really over this show and I'm really over like the fans and crying, all that crying and whining and stuff. But one more thing, I really didn't have a problem with what Candy said to Gizelle because Gizelle really is like she's really is white looking. So I really didn't have I had a problem with the vagina comment, but the comment about her being white looking, I don't get the outrage. But Candy's got it. Candy's gonna be the villain no matter what. She gotta accept that. She's gonna be the villain no matter what.
Vagina comment, TKC.
You said what?
You gotta accept it. Because she dark skin.
Here you go.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it just feels like no matter what Candice does or says, it's gonna be picked apart.
Because she's dark skinned.
I don't necessarily think because she's dark skinned. I think it's because Karen got mouth.
No matter what you think.
Not Karen. Candace got mouth.
Okay. Well.
You gonna turn your light on for the finale?
Is there anything else you want to get out before I get you off?
Oh, are y'all gonna review? What Jasmine said?
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say before we move to next?
She know better. But no, y'all gonna review.
God.
Y'all gonna
All right,
review.
thank you, TK. So it's been a great session, okay?
No, I gotta.
Y'all gonna review.
Y'all gonna review Ultimate Girls Trip and what's the other one?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
What about the Escape Show, Candy Show?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be live. It's gonna be recorded. If Chase chooses to have it live, he can do so. But as of right now, it's planned for a recording and then posted. So just
okay. Now that show.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right, TKC. Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Right. Shout out to everybody. Had fun.
All right. Our next caller, because we have two more in the queue, is going to be Kyra. What's going on, Kyra?
Here we go.
Hello, the Lean family. Y'all coming up today again. For one, I want to point out that Gizelle and Robin on their podcast said that Karen and Ashley were the breakout stars for this season. I want to know where it was at. Karen and Ashley were duck bags, garbage, thrown out of the trash can. Why was Karen first seat? I have absolutely no idea. She could have gotten a guest seat spot for 5 minutes and then sit back.
Karen and
Same with Ashley. So to me, it also makes me feel like this is the whole pack situation, because ain't no way Robin and Ashley would say Robin and Gizelle would say Karen and Ashley were the breakout stars. Now we're gonna talk about all this whining and complaining. On the first season, it was Ashley, Barbie Darby, whining and complaining about Gizelle talking about her hair, talking about how she acts white or black. It was Ashley Darby complaining about how they're always trying to force TV to pick one or the other. So colorism and racism and blackness has always been a central point of Potomac. It was not the black girl, the brown and dark skin girls who brought this up. It has been on the show since the beginning.
The paper bag season.
So it also gets really irritating when people want to act like it's because the dark skin girls are on the show now. And I also don't like, some people can, I don't know how I want to say this, in the sense that like sometimes some of the actions of Wendy, for me mostly Wendy, can be irritating. But to me, everyone's acting like this show runs like Atlanta. On Atlanta, people can be having their fights and no one jumps in. There's not this whole, we're going to ice you out and you're not going to be filming. No, there's no production allowing basically someone to run their show like it's a sorority stuck in college. So it looks to me because you have a cast of mostly biracial or generational racial people like Robin, who are allowed to not invite people to events, to ice people out, to laugh and record assaults. And then the other person is left to be like, okay, well, if I don't make up with them or try to move on what a regular housewife is supposed to, I will not be filming. And so there is a balance of them not going overboard and trying to move forward, but also I feel we still have to help the production and the rest of the cast for creating this environment. And next with this whole Candace and White, Gizelle is, again, as I always say, Gizelle is the person who said Potomac was successful because the world had never seen a light-skinned, light-eyed, black educated one. Gizelle knows exactly who she looks like. Gizelle is the same one who said her mother said not to stand up for the sun to get dark. Gizelle is the one who said she has an uncle who was able to pass and her family shunned him. And they really only shunned him because they enjoy looking light-skinned and being amongst black people who feel special.
And what her father came out what her father said.
Yes, that's what I said. So to me, it's like them all screaming, and the reason why I say like, because I don't think they cut out Robin not saying anything when Candace said that. Robin didn't say anything because Robin knows a whole bunch of people think she's white. Robin has already talked about how white men think she's white because she was at a cruise and the whole they were talking about black people, and that's when her and her friends who looked like her realized the white men thought they were white. So the women know exactly how they show up, and I do think it's a part of not feeling supported or a bit of naivete. That Candace is not what you call them colors, because to me, quite a few of them are colors. But people have to recognize that you can participate in it and not fully, and someone not necessarily wanting to label you as such. And that's on the individual. For me personally, I'm stamping hoes on their forehead colors on this show. Okay, I'm stamping them. Candace don't have. I'm stamping them, and I don't enjoy because to me it's almost like When he was like, Candace, say this in a nicer way so people can swallow it. And to me, it showed it's so disgusting because people really liked Candace that season because honestly, she swallowed it a lot. She did not stand up for herself a lot. And also, the few times she did, people were still calling body shaming X, Y, and Z. Meanwhile, Gizelle is sitting here, as someone else said, the butt rabbit, laughing and kicking with the happy end situation.
Yeah.
There is no way you expected that woman to come to the reunion seeing everything that Gizelle did and expected her to not go off, especially when Gizelle is trying to sit there and act like, again, she's not college educated and she doesn't know the difference between the optics making me uncomfortable and knowing that she went to everyone saying, I didn't like what he did to me. And knowing that did mean an action. Saying he's a sneaker means he is doing something. Saying, I know I've seen married men try and he's trying to mean he is doing something to give you that impression. And she knows exactly what she did. It was just, she was purposely vague that way she could get to the reunion and still try to say, well, who should we blame? What do you mean, who should we blame? That to me is so disgusting. It does show you're acting like you're just so privileged and that this man is supposed to come to you and bow down to you and say, I am so sorry for you letting me walk into your room after you thought it was empty. Absolutely not. So I don't necessarily know if I'm gonna watch the show next season because this show is just butt fodder. Maybe I'll watch it on a little show, a little week, and I'll show you, but
Well, don't leave us, Kyra. You gotta come back because we'll be here.
You guys do Monday, so maybe I'll catch a little link and see. I don't know if they can get my view like that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kyra. It's been a great season as well. I'm sure we'll see you. Beverly Hills is coming. We'll see you, child. We always see you. So thank you for always being here. Okay.
Bye.
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 I believe this is a new caller, so I have to let them on. And it is Lula.
Come on, Lula, babe.
Hey, Cortez.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Are you the person? Are you? Is it Marianne? Marianne that's in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name is Lula, but
Lula. Okay. So is this your first time calling in?
No, I called in for Beverly Hills once.
Oh, okay. Beverly Hills be rocking, baby. That's it'd be crazy. But welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm doing well. So I just want to touch up on a few things and then ask all of you guys a question.
Okay.
Right. And I think I want to start off with my question. And for us all being different tones of quote unquote Black, for us all being Black people, like, I am just trying to figure out, like, how when you try to make white people understand something that's racist or something that they may have said or did or whatever, why is it so hard to make other Black people understand the colorism issue? That's the one thing that just threw me off. Like, where we know what colorism is, I don't think there's not one Black person that doesn't know what colorism is.
Mm-hmm.
So
it tends to be the people who are privileged from the colorism that act like they don't understand it. That's
people want to be
I guess I'm considered light skin.
Let her finish her question.
I'm considered light skin, I guess, and like I notice colorism because my husband's family are darker complexion, yes, and my family is lighter complexion. We don't have any other race in us. I'm African, and so just when you look at my siblings, we're all different tones, but we're still light skin. Let's just say that. My husband's side, they're all dark skin, different types of dark skin though. And for the, I guess, typical African family, that's very normal, right? And so I have two daughters. My older one is very light, like, my family. And my other one, she's still a baby. She's light. And I got asked a question by my mother-in-law when I showed her over FaceTime, oh, is she getting darker? Like as if she was afraid that she was going to turn darker. And that really upset me. But out of respect, I didn't say anything back. But that's something that I felt. You understand? And so the colorism issue is there. We all know that it's there. It really pisses me off when people act like colorism is not an issue, number one. Number two, why is it so hard to make another Black person understand what colorism is or that it exists?
Okay, let us answer you really quickly. Can one person or two people maybe answer the question?
Whoever.
I really want to say I think it's because people like to feel oppressed. Like if I tell you that XYZ hurts me, then in turn it's okay, but XYZ hurt me as well. I just feel like when it comes to, especially in this cast, like no one is really wanting to hear. I just saw someone say they understand it. They just really don't want to. I don't, like I've said before, my mother was probably around the dandy complexion. And for me to be this tone, it did, like I've said, bring up insecurities. So I mean, I do not think that. I do think like that is my favorite thing, to say people are willfully obtuse, because people really do know exactly what the fuck is going on. Yeah. But it's just like, once you grow up, you know what I'm saying, kind of things are just kind of, so you're going to either change it or you're going to keep perpetuating it in your adulthood. So I just constantly just think that people, don't really respect other people's feelings and their experiences without feeling like their experiences have to be said and trumped for theirs to make sense or correlate. I can sit here and joke and be, rowdy, and so can Jamie, and we can get different responses. And that's just my personal thoughts. Like, I'm not trying to, put that out there. I love Jamie, but at the same time, it can even rear its ugly head, I can think, even in these comments. Me and Asia are, I would say darker hue, and I feel like that we have just come into our own of being able to just be ourselves without being apologetic about it. But I think us being in our 30s, it took a long time for us to get there. I'm not speaking for you, Asia. I'm just saying, like, I would just think, just like we.
I've been giving niggas the business.
Okay. I was very shy and stuff like that, and it took a long time for me to really want to just be comfortable expressing my personality without giving a fuck if it offends anyone else or not.
Yeah. Okay. So, Asia, I will let you answer, but we getting a long time, so I gotta actually get Lula off the call. Lula, I hope you got your answer. If you would like to continue the conversation, please feel free to hit these 4 panelists up, 5 including me, on social media, and maybe they'll be able to continue the conversation. I got one last call to get on, so we can get them on.
That's fine.
Okay? Thank you, Lula.
You guys have a good night.
You too, and thank you for supporting us this season.
Good night, Lula.
I like her. She made us think.
I thought somebody was coming in.
If I had to sit the fuck up, like, whoo.
I know it was that we
was
were
nice.
going all night, and we don't have all night because we've been here for an hour and 30. So this last and final call, and we out of here. If any of y'all need to leave, y'all can, but I'm gonna get them in because it's the last show. So it's all right, Jenny. What's going on, Dylan? How are you? You are our final caller for the season. What you got for us?
I'm good. How are you? Listen, when I tell you I am so tired of these mutt bitches, let me say this. No, I'm gonna be for real. Like, for real, I'm gonna hop out that bag and I'm gonna get in my for real bag, because this is really serious. For me, I am a person who is very in tune with colorism and the monster behind colorism. And I know exactly what it's doing to our people from top to bottom. It's very deep. Our people are looking at it from a very superficial standpoint, and that is the problem. It is very deep rooted, and it's so much. I'm not gonna, try to even go that far. But what I will say is that our community needs to have a round table meeting, seriously, about what is Black and what is not. Because what is happening here in America is history is repeating itself. This has already happened before. Black people, when in a colonized space or a space with other races, European, we tend to have this issue of whitewashing our community. Black America is getting lighter and lighter by the day. There's not as many dark-skinned people that started in America that are there now. We're getting lighter and lighter because the same thing that happened in Egypt is the same thing that's happening here. More and more of us are starting to look like Nefertiti, King Tut, Cleopatra, and all of them motherfuckers. And this is some real shit. Those type of people are becoming the kings and queens of our people. And at some point in time, they are going to be the representation of Black people, because if we do not get this under control, dark-skinned people will be erased. It is happening. And looking at that stage, there's only 2 black women on that stage. Everything else is a mixed breed. And if it's not considered white, it is not considered black either. And considering it black is a colonized mindset. And it doesn't even stem from slavery. This stems from Africa. Okay? Mia sitting on that stage calling herself a black woman, calling Gizelle a black woman. That is the reason why we're going through this. People have to understand colorism is not something that we can control. It is a price that black people are paying for introducing European into our bloodline in Africa. We cannot control it. We cannot get rid of it. The only way we would be able to get rid of it is to stop reproducing mixed breeds. That is the only way. As long as light-skinned people are being made by black people, there is going to be colorism because we can't control it. They're going to benefit. We're going to be oppressed. That is just what's going to happen. It's very deep, but this is the truth. And this is our truth. And like I said, we have to get this under control because we do not, dark-skinned people will be erased up out of here.
Well, Daylon, I'm going to give y'all 2. I'm going to give the world 2 dark-skinned kids.
Oh,
I got you for 2.
Me too. I'm going to give y'all about 1.
I got you for 2. I'm adopting.
You know, I like chocolate men, so you know my woof.
But
what'd you say, Tay?
Is that contributing to colorism? That's just what, you know.
But this is really serious though, because colorism is playing, like, even looking at this cast, colorism is in all of us as black people. It's in all of us. It is subconscious. People have to understand that colorism is the actual power of what's actually going on. A colorist is a person who acts on that power intentionally.
I have a question. Did you agree or disagree with Candace when she said she doesn't believe anybody is a colorist on the cast?
Absolutely, because I don't believe that anybody on that stage is being colorist intentionally. They are benefiting from colorism, which is colorism, but they're not doing it intentionally. It's subconscious. The only colorists sitting on that stage were those black men sitting behind those light-complected mixed breed women. Those are the only colors on the stage because they are the ones that are intentionally going out of their way to not reproduce and be with women that look like them. That's called self-hate. And that is the reason why we're where we're at. I'm telling y'all, I know what I'm talking about. The lady that was on this call before me, the reason why she's so confused about why our people and light skin and dark skin in Africa, Africans were originally dark skinned. African land was too close to the equator for people to be light skinned. Africans were originally dark skinned. The only way that light skin got introduced into Africa was through European blood being introduced into our bloodline. I'm telling y'all, this is deep. It's gonna get worse. The reason why colorism is showing its head so bad right now is because it has to naturally, and it's going to get worse. And we're gonna have to get it under control, or history is going to repeat itself. And that's just the truth.
Okay. Well, Delon, we would love to continue the conversation, but we gotta get out of here. Definitely some deep thought. You know, some agree, some disagree. You can't take away from what you're saying and what the previous caller said, because you both have valid points and valid opinions to the conversation. So with that being said, thank you for calling in this season and supporting us, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can find them on Instagram too, and me as
well.
No, baby. You want to talk more. Okay. All right. So again, thank you all for calling in today. The callers today were Lisa, Ashley, Tawana, Jeremy, Brittany, Kai, Lula, and Delon. And also, sorry, my voice is acting crazy, child. Thank you for the super chats from Brittany. Brittany says, thank you for keeping us entertained all season. Thank you, Brittany, for calling in and supporting us with the super chat as well. And my good friend William also gave us super sticker and super chat. Thank you, William, for supporting us today. It's been a great season. Season 7 was definitely, I thought it was pretty entertaining. It had some moments, but at the end, I will say, it should just be called The Real Lives of Potomac, because a lot of these things realistically just came to be lies. Let's just be honest. But
the theme song should be Rumor Has It.
Okay. Or it can be Lindsay Lohan.
Light skin. A real paper bag test of Potomac.
Oh, it could be all those things. But we're gonna find out season 8. You know, I'll be here next season. We'll see if these panelists want to come back next season. Of course, if they want to come back, they're gonna be here because it's been a great season. I've enjoyed working with them. Jazz, Asia, Antonio, and Danny. We've been in this thing literally every Monday, every other Monday at the same time. And you guys have been watching us, so we really appreciate the support. And continue to do so on our other shows.
And this is still my motherfucking square. What else is going on?
It's still her square. All right, y'all. If you're not, hopefully we'll see you guys for the SWV show. Else we'll see you for New Jersey on Wednesdays, or we'll see you for Miami on Thursday this week for the reunion part 1. Like this video, subscribe, like this video. I say it all the time, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay. Thank you for staying with us tonight, and y'all have a good Monday night.
We out to see.
Ooh, that got
Hello.